As of today, being the 17th of May of 2025, a lot of interesting info and a lot of interesting activities has played out in Finland regarding Mr. Simon, a man held in Kilamäki Correctional Center. As we speak, the government of Finland and the Päijät-Häme district courts are currently in panic and in full confusion. So the question here is, why is the government of Finland totally confused about Simon's case at this point in time? Well, in our previous video, we made mention of the fact that the president of Finland traveled to Tanzania to attend a particular conference or a meeting. In that meeting, a top individual in Africa came out to criticize the government of Finland, stating categorically that the government detained Mr. Simon unjustly and illegally. This particular statement did not sit well with the president of Finland, and that is why after that conference in Tanzania, he called the National Bureau of Investigation. He also put a call across to the Päijät-Häme district court asking them to publish a press statement. Yes. Interestingly, when the Päijät-Häme district court, that is the court that will try Mr. Simon, received that call from the presidency in the person of Alexander Stubb, these guys rushed immediately. They went straight to a media house or a publication agency known as Yale so as to render or tender an official statement regarding Simon's case. Well, showing right now on your screen is this statement made by the presidency through the Päijät-Häme district court, published by Yale news agency. It states, and I quote, "Lati municipal politician in the person of Simon charged with series of offenses." I can't particularly mention this offense showing right now on your screen because of YouTube terms of service. Yes, it also went a step further to claim that the lawsuit on Simon is a unique case. This is coming from their head prosecutor. Well, just in case you don't understand what is currently going on here, the president of Finland was heavily criticized in Tanzania because of Simon. He called the Päijät-Häme district court to release a statement regarding Simon. These guys obeyed and they published this particular article showing right now on your screen. This article is saying that Simon's case, Simon will be charged to the Päijät-Häme district court for sure for this offense highlighted on your screen right now. But then his case is a unique one. His case has never been seen in the country of Finland, and his case will need a lot of timing and trial. Yes, just in case you don't believe me and just in case you want to fact check the statement mentioned previously, showing right now on your screen is a statement coming from the DPM, the Deputy Prime Minister of the USP, in the person of Ngozi Orebowezi, where she stated that breaking update from Finland. The Finland government has decided to toe the criminal part of Nigeria government by charging PM Simon with public incitement to commit an offense. This report came in today, being the 16th of May of 2025, to the USB government. We will see how this frivolous charge will end between Finland, Nigeria, and the USB. Yes, like I said, this is coming from the DPM. You can go to our Twitter page right now and verify the information that will be shared in subsequent time. But then, the government of Finland did not even stop there. The president of Finland did not even stop there. He also listed the offenses Simon will be tried for. He listed the offenses Simon will be charged for in the coming months. Take a look at this. Pay attention to the highlighted part of your screen because we have a lot of info and intel domiciled in this particular post. It states, the Deputy Prosecutor General has decided to bring charges against Simon for public incitement to commit an offense with this particular sentence that I can't mention, and also participation in a terrorist group. Just in case you don't know, Simon is going to face 2 charges. Showing right now on your screen are these charges. You can pause this part of the video to read up and understand. But then there's a problem. There's a big problem. It feels like the government of Finland are scared at this particular point in time. It feels like the ICJ has placed a call to the government of Finland asking them to pay close attention to Simon's case. Why did I say so? Well, take a look at this publication showing right now on your screen where it states, in this trial, we will look at what has happened online and whether it fulfills the criteria of an offense. This is coming from the Deputy Prosecutor General in the person of Chuka Rape. It also went a step further to claim that, according to Rape, the court will investigate whether a person who has operated in information networks from Finland has been involved in these offenses. This man also went a step further to claim that this is a unique and a first case of its kind. Wow, this is a very interesting one. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to what is currently happening in Finland. The government of Finland, let me break things down for you to understand in very simple terms. The government of Finland wants to try Simon for 2 charges. Showing right now on your screen are 2 charges. But at the same time, they are not too sure. They are not too sure if this man actually committed these offenses showing right now on your screen. They are not too sure. They have never seen a case like this in their judicial settings, in their judicial precedents. They've never seen a case where somebody will live in their country and run some activities from their said country in another country's settings entirely. So the government are saying that we've investigated this man and we found that this man committed these two offenses, these two listing on your screen, but we don't know how to actually trial him. We don't know how to actually deal with his case. What are these guys trying to do at this point in time? Are they trying to send him to Nigeria using this particular loophole as a means to extradite him? Nobody knows for sure. But one thing we know is that Simon is doing something to counter all of the statements and all of the confusions happening in the Pajahame District Court. Yes, so the question here is, what is Simon doing at this particular point in time? Well, we'll come back to that in a second because we need to heavily analyze Simon's response because it's going to change the way and manner things move from this particular point in time going forward. But then while making this video, we stumbled on an interesting news and updates coming out from the country of Uganda. This is not in relation to Mr. Simon or the US in any way, shape or form. This has to do with democracy on the African continent. So the question here is, what has happened in Uganda? Take a look at this publication where it states, Ugandan president's son threatens to banish citizens who vote against their father. Yes, just in case you don't understand, Uganda as a country will run its presidential elections by January of next year. January of next year being 2026. And the son of Yoweri Museveni, who happens to be the current president of Uganda, has come out to warn every citizen of that country that if you vote against my father, my dad, I'm going to heavily banish you from this country. This doesn't make sense in any way, shape or form. This guy did not even stop there. He did not even stop there. He also went a step further to tell the Ugandan military force that from this day henceforth, going forward, all the females no longer has a right to put on trousers. Yes, for a better clarity, take a look at this publication where it states, he also announced a new policy banning female soldiers from wearing trousers. This is crazy. And if you want to even see the craziest part of this whole conversation is the fact that his father, Museveni, has been the president of Uganda for over 35 years now. Showing right now on your screen is a detailed breakdown of this guy's administration. He came into power the 29th of January of 1986. And up to this particular point in time in 2025, this man, Museveni, is still the president of Uganda, and he happens to be the longest serving president of that country, serving over 35 years. This is massive. Yes, if you think Museveni's case is crazy, well, we also have other craziest leaders in Africa. Showing right now on your screen are the listing of the 5 longest serving presidents on this continent. We have, on number 1, we have Paul Biya of Cameroon. He has been in power for over 50 years. And we also have Teodoro Obiang, who served 45 years in power. As you can see, democracy in Africa isn't working because how can a human, one person, be in power for over 50 years? Wow, that's half a century. It doesn't make sense in any way, shape or form. This simply shows that democracy in Africa isn't working, and we should probably look for a different administrative pattern that will favor or fit the African settings. Well, an individual known as Eli Twinyo wrote a book. He made a book regarding democracy in Africa. This is a book that every individual has to read and understand. In this book, he dissected the tenets of democracy and how it has come to fail, to everly fail on the African continent. Do well to check out this book if you love reading. Check out this book written by Eli Twinyo. It's a massive one, and you definitely get a lot of info from this book. Well, moving on swiftly, let's get back to Mr. Simon's case. Let's get back to his case. The government of the USB aren't too happy with the way and manner the president of Finland is currently operating Mr. Simon's case, and that is why they came out to make a press statement and a press release. Showing right now on your screen is a statement coming from the government of the USB, published 19 hours ago. Feel free to pause this particular point of this video to read up and understand, because these guys made serious points. They called out the leaders of the Finnish government, calling them out that, why will you treat one of your own like this? Why are you treating one of your own, a man who have served your country in the military form, in the civilian form, and as a politician? Why are you treating him in this particular way and manner. Feel free to pause this point of this video, read up and understand. Now let's go to the interesting part of this whole conversation. Yes, Mr. Simon, through his lawyer, the person of Carl Gumeres, has noticed that the Finnish authorities are currently confused on how to tackle his case. They are confused on how to trial him. They are confused on how to present his case to the Paijehame District Court. And that is why Simon, together with his lawyer, has done something that makes a lot of sense. What did Simon do and how does it make sense? Well, take a look at this particular article showing right now on your screen, where it states that Simon, a former municipal politician from Lati, is charged with this offense. Okay? It went a step further to claim that the Deputy Prosecutor General has decided to bring charges against Simon for public incitement to crime and blah, blah, blah. We know all of this part already. But then Simon made a good point. He made a good difference for himself. This article also went a step further to claim that Simon has denied all of these charges. Yes, so as you can see, Simon is ready to plead not guilty. He has denied every single thing coming from the Paijehame District Court. This is a smart move because last week, a top lawyer in Finland, advised him to plead guilty to the charges leveled on him. But now Simon said he's not going to plead guilty, but instead plead not guilty. Why is this a smart move? Well, we all know that the Paijehame District Court and the Finnish police are yet to totally grasp and understand Simon's case. Yes, these guys made mention of the fact that they've never seen a case like this in their country. They've never seen an offense like this in their country. They don't even know how to trial him. And for Simon to plead not guilty, he has made it very difficult for the Paijehame District Court to tender a ruling. He has made it very difficult for them to pass a judgment because they have to go far and beyond. They have to probably rewrite their laws and constitution regarding case of incitement because as we speak, Finland doesn't have any particular sentencing for incitement. This eventually happens to be an intelligent move coming from Simon and his legal counsel team. Yes, they are pleading not guilty. They will go to the courtroom with the claims of, see, we are not guilty. We don't know what we are talking about. We have no linkage to any form of incitement or any form of group. We don't know anything about it. And we have no hands in anything you're presenting in the courtroom. Yes, but as we speak, as Simon is trying to defend himself in the court of law, something interesting has played out in the USA. The president of that country has appointed a USB citizen into his political cabinet. This is a big one. And this played out yesterday. The USB citizen has been appointed into US security structure. The question here is, who is this individual and why was she appointed? Well, if you want to get full info and a better understanding of this particular case, we have a video showing right now on your screen. So do well to click on this video to watch and understand. Click on this particular video and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for watching.
I'm always careful to give advice from the government side on what business can actually do. But I think the starting point is to understand that we're now moving from a world where we used to have trade rules, clear ones, multilateral rules, say through the WTO, to a more transactional world. And the EU is for us the one that trades for us. So the EU has exclusive competence on trade, on competition and on customs. So the framework is there. So for instance, today, the Trade Commissioner of Europe was here looking at what kind of cooperation we can do. And then the rest falls into place. You know, can we help in the green transition? What can we learn about each other when it comes to technology? What kind of means can we do together? And again, I think it starts quite often with people-to-people contact, and that's what these kinds of visits are all about.
We can all agree that climate change is a shared global concern. How can Finland and Kenya collaborate more effectively on climate resilience and green innovation?
Yeah, no, I agree. And one of the problems is that the world seems to be able to cope only with one or two crises at a time. So right now we're seeing an increase in conflicts, which means that we talk less and less about climate. I mean, I don't have a magic bullet of how it should all be done, but in my mind, it needs a sequence of three. First, you need legislation, in other words, rules which set the frame for what you can do in order to help the climate. Second, you need finance, so you need financial instruments and public and private banks.
Simon Èkpá denies terrorism charges in Nigeria and in Finland. Why won't he deny the terrorism charges, against him? Simon Èkpá is not a terrorist, both internationally and in the Zoo Republic of Nigeria. First of all, he's not a zoo citizen to start with. Secondly, he didn't commit any act of terrorism. So why will he accept, what he didn't commit rather? He didn't commit the crime. He didn't commit any crime of terrorism, which the Finnish government knows. And if they are being sincere to themselves, they will do the needful. I will keep on saying this. They should do the needful. They should do the needful. It's as simple as that. You cannot continue to charge somebody, who fully well did not commit any crime, based on terrorism and any related criminal activities. Yet you're holding him because you feel the country, that has been pressurizing you, is gonna take away any resources that you are clamoring for. Finland is just under unnecessary pressure, and that is why I had to even play the video of their president. When he talks like this, I wonder why, he's still taking the decision that he is taking currently to side the zoo government. And this is where they are going to destroy their country, because as it stands, Finland is in trouble already. They are in trouble, whether you believe it or not. Yes, they are doing well, fine and good. They are peaceful and all that. But what next after this whole ordeal against the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá? What next, against this calamity that they are trying to bring upon themselves? What next? That is the question you should be asking. Now, let us go into the news in detail, concerning this Simon Èkpá ordeal in Finland. The Finnish authority on Friday said they had charged a man with inciting terrorism online, who a media report identified as Nigerian separatist leader Simon Èkpá. According to the prosecution authority, the accused remained in custody and denied the charges. AFP reports that Finland's National Prosecution Authority said in a statement that it had charged a Finnish individual in a case involving suspected public incitement to commit crimes with terrorist intent and participation in the activities of a terrorist group. Now, first of all, are you charging Simon Èkpá, for intent and participation in activities of a terrorist group? Is Mazi Simon Èkpá, running a terrorist group? That is the first question you should be asking yourself. Is Mazi Simon Èkpá running a terrorist group? One. Is Brigi a terrorist group? That is the Biafran Republic government in exile. Is he recognized as a terrorist group? That is another question. Because we all know that even the so-called terrorist group that was proscribed, the only group that was proscribed is the IPOB. The IPOB was the only group that was proscribed. And Mazi Simon Èkpá came out openly and dissociated himself from anything that is related to IPOB. So why are they, bringing in the issue of terrorist group, him participating in the activities of terrorist group? That is another, thing. So I just feel that the Finland, because of how pressured they are, they are finding every little means to attach Simon Èkpá to some certain issues that has no business to do with him in the first place. So this is where the problem lies. But let us round up with the news. It added that the alleged crimes had been committed in the city of Lati between 2021 and 2024. So why didn't you hold him the first time you arrested him? We'll continue. And were related to the suspect's effort to establish Nigeria's Biafraland region as an independent state. The prosecutor authority did not name the accused, but Finnish public broadcaster YLE identified him as separatist leader Simon Èkpá, who is, the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile, who was detained in November. According to the prosecution authority, the accused remained in custody and, of course, denied the charges, as it should be. As it should be. If there is any word better than deny, they should even use it, because Simon Èkpá has to dissociate himself from anything that has to do with terrorism. When did self-defense become a crime in the world, that the world is so, so concerned about holding those who are defending themselves? Because this whole thing is becoming baffling. The new thing, currently that we've started experiencing is how the world is now so interested in African countries, especially the ones that are bringing out their head, to do greater things for their people. The world is now so interested in them. Is it not the same Africans that you call monkeys, in quotes? The same African countries you said nothing good is in. Yet, you've refused to remove your long hose and your big hose, from sucking Africans dry. There is currently a wave now, and this wave is very simple: to bring down any rising hero coming within the African region. It's a wave, and we've seen it. In fact, it's been there. It didn't just start. It started gradually with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They did everything. You think Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's arrest and detention and continuous detention, you think it's only the zoo that that is handling this thing? No, there are other countries that is supporting the zoo, powerful countries, powerful international groups, and the rest of them that is supporting the activities of the zoo or Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is why when the United Nations gave an order, directly to the zoo to immediately release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they refused. Oh, they refused because they refused twice or three times, because they know the support that they are getting. They know what is giving them, the authority and, the power to continue to incarcerate the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. So there is currently a wave. We started seeing the one of what is his name? The governor of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore. He's becoming too powerful for them. So the best thing is to label him a terrorist and find a way to kpai him, just the way they kpied Gaddafi and the rest of them. This is what these people do. They don't want Africans to be wise enough to fight for what belongs to them, because they know the kind of resources that Africans possess. So that is the news, today concerning the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá Njoko. We'll be giving you much more, issues coming up from the whole ordeal of the Prime Minister, especially directly from Finland, because we'll be following this. We have to follow it to know, the whole thing happening, concerning the legal battle of the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá Njoko. Once again, thank you for joining us on this wonderful YouTube platform. Make sure you share this video to as many groups and platforms as possible, because our people needs to continue to hear the truth on the ordeals of Biafrans in Biafraland.